Hi everybody, Jason here. Today we're going to speak about if favoritism exists from an Eastern cognitive style and when we think about Eastern spirituality and philosophy. And one of the problems that we come across when we mix cultures and we communicate with other cultures is that there are different cognitive styles. And I often talk about this all the time, especially between East and West, right? And so where you have an individualistic state of mind opposed in some sense to a holistic state of mind. And so there is a way obviously to integrate both and to operate from both, but in a lot of cases we either lean towards one or the other more so because of our evolution and the environment we are brought up in. And so one of those things that differs between East and West is this idea of favoritism, right? So when I began to become friends with a lot of Asian people, when I was learning Eastern spirituality and philosophy, obviously being a Westerner, you would always ask them, what is your favorite movie? When you were just having a casual conversation. And it's very odd for them to think about it in the sense of favoritism, because the holistic mind doesn't really think in the sense of category and objects. So categorizing things into like, these are my favorites and these are the ones I don't like and so forth and so on. And when you think about this is such a natural way to think, because when someone asks me about, Jason, and I get this a lot through the YouTube comments and also via my website, what is your favorite country? And it's an interesting question, right? What is your favorite country? And when I think about it, I can't even answer that. What I will say is I will give them a group of countries that I love to be in and I love to live in and I love to just experience. So there's no favoritism because that is likely to change. When you say that this is my favorite thing, time will change that, even though you may still like that, right? And when I grew up, and likely anyone else in the West, because other people are saying this is my favorite thing, this is my favorite thing, you start to think that you ought to have favorite things, right? So when someone said this is my favorite band, then what I went away and did is I found a band that I kind of liked and said, they're my favorite band now. But when I think about that band now, there's no way. Not even in like 20 bands that I listen to now, they wouldn't even make the top 20. So you got to really think about this element of favoritism because it doesn't exist when we look at it from a holistic state of mind. And that's one of the things in Eastern spirituality and philosophy you have to think about. This idea of specialness and uniqueness is kind of eradicated because as individuals, we are no more special than an ant. We start to have these beliefs of favoritism and this and that due to the individualistic mind that thinks it's special, right? So the individual needs to have this framework that makes its existence, right? This is my favorite band, this is my favorite sport, this is my favorite philosophy, he's my best friend, she's my best friend. We go down the line, right? When you think about it, it's quite ridiculous because to say you have a best friend, for example, usually people have a group of friends and it's really hard to say you favor that person over this person. I mean, it's a really strange state of mind to be in. Whereas a holistic mind is not favoring life because you see life in the sense of relationship and context, right? And that's where a lot of problems occur, especially within business, because in business, Westerners are trying to communicate with Easterners and then there can be this friction because the different cognitive styles, right? The analytical mind as opposed to the holistic mind. And so you have those sorts of problems because there's no element of favoritism and so forth and so on. So that's something to think about, right? When you are learning, especially Eastern philosophy and spirituality, when you're engaged deeply in the contemplation of the great texts and meditation, what should slowly be happening to you is this element of favoritism will slowly evaporate. It doesn't mean you don't enjoy certain things. It means you have an understanding that there's not like one on a pedestal and everything else is kind of vying for your attention at the top. It doesn't really work like that. So you've got to come back, bring your mind back to that natural state where you understand that relationship and context is your natural state of mind, holistic state of mind. And this idea of favoritism is just a byproduct of your sense of persona. It's a byproduct of your sense of persona, trying to validate its existence and resonate with certain things that validate its existence. Like I said, it resonates with certain things that validates its existence. So these are the things that we have to get out of if we want to understand Eastern spirituality and philosophy at a deep level. We have to get out of that bad habit of specialness and uniqueness. We have to get out of those bad habits, because you're not special, you're not unique, you're part of something much greater than yourself. And that's a liberating understanding when you understand that at a deep level. It's a state of liberation. So, like I said, favoritism in some sense doesn't exist. It doesn't mean you're not attracted to certain things. It just means that you don't have a tendency to highlight something more so than other things. You're seeing reality in a more holistic manner where things are more connected, and you're not highlighting the so-called like bright things in life, because that's what captures your attention and what you think makes up your psychology, right? So you're getting out of that bad habit. So that's it for today. I hope you're having a good day. Make sure you drop a comment below and tell me what you think about favoritism and how it impedes or if it benefits your life. And make sure you share this content with your friends. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Shanti, shanti, shanti.